If you are in Indonesia, there's a store called Batik Keris. And it's a cute name because keris actually represents a Javanese weapon, a small curved knife that represents a symbol of resistance. But this store, I mean, a lot of places sell batik, which would represent the designs that you see here. But this store in particular is a little bit more expensive than what you might see elsewhere. But there's a reason for that, and that's clearly the level of quality and variety that they have. And you're not going to see something like this in most stores that claim to sell authentic batik. Hello, how are you? So this store, of course, is also just sort of something nice to look at, not just in terms of the clothing, but you'll notice a lot of different masks. You'll notice the story, most likely from, well, I don't know if that's from the famous old Hindu or Buddhist story. But you see here we've got the shadow puppets with the wayang. And what's really interesting are, again, the puppets here, just by themselves, are really, really fun to look at. But you can see the selection as well. They also have big sizes as well. And just look at the design. And I like this one over here. I don't know if you know what that is at the very top. I'll get a little bit closer. That is the Garuda over here. And again, this would be the national symbol of Indonesia. You have a lion down there, a lot of Chinese and Japanese influence with Buddhism and Hinduism. Well, not necessarily Hinduism, but definitely Buddhism, with the different kinds coming in. And so you do have perhaps a reincarnation motif. Again, more here. You know, I use those terms, Buddhism and Hinduism, interchangeably in Indonesia, because if you go to Borobudur and Prambanan, there is clearly at some point a merger of the two different belief systems that obviously allowed them to coexist side by side. And you've got different kinds. You have Theravada Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, the Japanese style of Buddhism as well. And this batik obviously has a rich history in Indonesia. So whenever you see it, whether it's in Malaysia or in Indonesia, you've got a lot of history there. I mentioned the Chinese. You've got just this ability to show the world that this country has always been capable of making beautiful things. And in fact, in the old days, all of these would be handmade. They might be made from not just cotton, but silk and many other types of fabric. And there's a second story over here. I'm not going to go all the way up. But again, if you happen to be in Semarang, this store is a chain, so you'll see them everywhere. But I don't think I've seen a store quite as nice as this one anywhere else in Indonesia.